Alright, hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Casey, and today I wanted to do an exciting reading for you guys. And what's more exciting than finding out that somebody has a crush on you? So I wanted this reading to be all about, who has a crush on you right now. And the way that we're going to figure this out is we're going to be looking at what do they physically look like? What does this person look like? Then how do they present themselves on the outside versus how they really are on the inside? So you'll get a good look at like their personality around other people versus like the deeper personality once you get to know them. Then we're also going to look at exactly how they're feeling about you. And finally, what do they want to happen between the two of you? Are they looking for something casual, or is this something more to them? Is this something deeper? Do they want a deeper relationship with you? So hopefully it'll be a really fun and exciting reading, but I also just want to say that I'm trying out some new settings on my camera, so if it seems to get blurry here and there or it seems to be a little bit dark, I'm trying to trust the process. My uncle is a photographer and he told me to change up the settings, so hopefully it'll look better, but figuring it out as I go. Hopefully it doesn't bother you guys too much if this video looks a little bit off. But today I have 3 different readings for you to choose from. We have pile 1 with the blue lace agate, pile 2 with the rose quartz, and pile 3 with the crazy lace agate. So go ahead and pause, figure out which reading you feel most drawn to. There will be timestamps down in the description box below so you can quickly jump to whichever reading you want to listen to. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, pile 1. If you chose the blue lace agate, then this is the reading for you. And like I said at the beginning, trying out some new camera settings. Hopefully things aren't too blurry. If that bothers you, I apologize, but figuring things out as we go. But I have a really exciting reading for you today. So starting off with all about this person that has a crush on you. First of all, what they look like. You got the mouse card. I think that this person is like really cute and possibly like smaller than the average person, regardless of their gender. It could be a guy or a girl, but I feel like this person could definitely be like a little bit shorter. I think that there's something about them that's just really cute that either you find really cute or that lots of people in general, like when they look at this person, and if somebody was like, pick a word to describe this person, the word that they would use is cute. I feel like there's something about their eyes, like maybe they just have like really big baleful eyes, like those like really round and kind of like, I don't know, there's this energy about this person that they just seem like compact and like cute and small. When I look at the mouse card, I just think about somebody who, they definitely could be smaller in stature, but I feel like this person's also, they're not timid. They're not like, I guess they could be shy in certain situations. Maybe they're shy around you. Like maybe if you intimidate them, they can be really shy around you. But I feel like this person is also, they're not afraid to like laugh and like be rambunctious with their friends and stuff like that. But there's something about them that has this like cute, tiny energy. It's hard to explain, but hopefully that gives you some context as to who this person could be. And then we have 2 personality cards here. One talks about the outer personality that they show to the world, and the other is like their inner personality, when you get to know them, what they actually reveal to people when you know them on a deeper level. And so starting with their outward personality, you have the gazelle, which is really interesting to me because when I think about the gazelle and the mouse card, I feel like those look like 2 completely different people. Like the mouse is like small and like kind of shy and like cute and timid, but then when I look at the gazelle, obviously gazelles are prey animals, so like they're quick to run away. It's not like they're some big macho thing, but if I imagine a person as a gazelle, I'm actually imagining somebody who's quite tall, maybe kind of lanky, but with very angular features. And I know this has to do with their personality, but I just think it's interesting because I think it's so different. But when I think about the personality of like a gazelle person, I think of somebody who can tend to be quieter, always observing, maybe like in a big friend group situation. Like if they're just with their really close friends, I think they can be rambunctious and they can be like rowdy and they can have a good time. But in like a bigger setting with people that they don't know as well, I feel like this person kind of sits back and observes. I feel like they're not the loudest voice in the room a lot of the time. I wouldn't say it's necessarily shyness so much as like introvertedness. I don't think that this person likes super big crowds. I don't think they're super big into like crazy partying. I think I think this person has like a very quiet energy when they're around people that they don't know, or like big groups of people. So if you're not sure who this person could be, it could be because this person just doesn't speak up a lot, if they don't know you very well. Maybe you see them in friend groups and they're just kind of like off to the side, and you never really took notice because they're only actually that like loud, kind of funny personality when they're with their smaller group of friends. But there's something about the gazelle that I think there's something very striking and beautiful about them, even though they can be kind of quiet around people that they don't know and kind of sit back and just observe and be somewhat of a wallflower. I think that there's also like, I don't know if you've heard this very often, but there's this meme going around right now when I'm filming this where people are like, they talk about aura, but not aura in like a spiritual sense, but more in like the vibe that you give off is like, if you have a ton of aura, you're like super cool. And so like, it's that kind of vibe where it's like this person just gives off this aura. They give off this vibe of like strength, which is weird because it's coming from the antelope. Like I feel like a lot of people would underestimate them. A lot of people would sense them as like being shy or like a little too timid to talk very loud. But if you actually really look at this person, you wouldn't see a shy, shaking, afraid person. You'd see somebody that actually, they have a lot of power in the way that they stand, and they can be very graceful. I feel like this is not the kind of person to be annoyingly rowdy, if you know what I'm saying. Like they know when to be very laid back and chill. For some reason, I get the thought that maybe for some of you, your person could be a stoner. I don't think so for all people, but for some reason that was coming to mind, so I just wanted to put that out there. But then moving on to their deeper personality with the black egg. Like I said, their outer personality, they're kind of like smaller, they're kind of not usually like the life of the party when they're in huge groups, so you wouldn't really know a lot about this person unless you sat with them one-on-one, or you actually hung out with them and their closer friends when you actually got to see their personality shine. But with the black egg, I feel like there's so much depth to this person, and there's depth to everybody has depth to them, but this person, they really only show the deeper layers of themselves to people after they really get to know them. Like there are some people, like you meet them and they'll just trauma dump, or they'll just start talking about this and that and everything about their life, and like you can sit with this person for an hour and you're like, I feel like, oh, we have no secrets now, like I know everything about you. But then with this person, I feel like they're much more like they'll suddenly reveal something and your head will like almost break with how fast it turns to them, because you're like, what the heck, I never would have known that about you. And I just feel like this person, there's a lot of really surprising things about them that you wouldn't really expect. Like, I feel like their deeper personality holds so much more than what they show on the surface. I feel like this person rarely ever reveals everything that they have going on or everything that they think about. They could be into some, like, wildly creative, weird stuff that you never would have expected, because usually when you see them out and about, they're kind of, like, quieter, or they're sitting on the outskirts of the friend group and they're not really the loudest voice. But then, I don't know, you get to know them and you find out that they rap on stage or something like that. Like, I don't know, like they have a secret rap career and you're like, what? I never would have known that about you. So it's weird because it's very vague, but when I look at the black egg card, it just makes me think that this person has so much going on in their inner world. They have so much going on behind the scenes, and only people really close to them actually get to know about that. And even the people closest to them are still surprised daily at like, what? I've known you for 10 years and I didn't know that you had a rap career. And it's like, I feel like this person is an enigma. Like, they truly don't reveal a ton. And from the outside, I think a lot of people would look at this person and be like, oh yeah, that's just that shy person that doesn't talk very much, and they're pretty short, or like they're just kind of like meek. But really you get to know them and it's like, what do you mean you're actually secretly like a TikTok influencer and you have 1 million followers? Like, nobody knows about this. And it's like, they just have so much going on, but they don't really boast about it. They don't tell the whole world about it. Like, you have to really pry it out of them, or you have to really get to know them to really learn who they truly are. So it's very interesting. I think this is a very interesting combinations of like personalities, and then also their looks being like the mouse card, which is really cute. But I want to move into how they feel about you. So the cards that you got for how they feel about you right now, you have the 9 of Wands reversed, the High Priestess, and the Determination card. I think that there must have been some switch within them. Whereas I think previously, for a very long time, they thought that they would have no chance with you. They thought that you were not interested. Maybe they even thought that you thought they were like weird or off-putting. And so they kind of put a big distance between the two of you. Maybe they didn't used to talk to you a lot. But it seems like there's some sort of switch where maybe they heard somebody say something like, oh, this person thinks that you're cute, and then all of a sudden they're like, what do you mean? I thought they thought that I was a total weirdo. And so I feel like this person used to have a ton of fears surrounding like approaching you or getting to know you, or it could even be that they thought your personality was way different than it actually is. Like maybe they were really intimidated by you, or they thought that you were super popular or like way out of their league, or maybe they thought like, oh, this person is just way too attractive, or they make so much money, or XYZ reason, and because of that, they were really intimidated by you. But for some reason, there's some sort of switch where they started seeing you more as human, or they started seeing you as more approachable, or they learned some things about you that really endeared you to them, and all of a sudden, instead of being super afraid and super intimidated, they're kind of coming out of their shell, and they're kind of determined to approach you more. With the High Priestess card, it makes me think that they might have learned something about you that like revealed a little bit more about your true character, where maybe in the past they thought that you were super intimidating, and then come to find out that like you have, I don't know, like a Build-A-Bear collection. And then they're like, oh, this person's not that scary after all, or oh, this person is actually kind of sweet, or they thought that you were maybe like the kind of person that's, for lack of a better term, like a stuck-up bitch. But then they find out like, oh, those must have just been like rumors or like what people thought about them, but this person is actually really kind. And then with the Determination card, it just makes me think like, I feel like in the past, this person really didn't think that they had any chance with you, and so because of that, they kind of just hung back. They didn't think about approaching you. I think they were interested in you, but they didn't really want to make a move because, I don't know, maybe they thought that you were into somebody else, or maybe they thought you were too intimidating, or they thought you wouldn't like them back. But then something happened, some sort of switch flipped, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, I actually have a chance. I'm actually going to try to pursue this person. And so for some of you, this could be more direct, where this person straight up starts talking to you and makes their intentions very clear. For others of you, it could look like this person stands a little closer than normal, or this person tries talking to you a little bit more often. This person, I don't know, sends you memes on like Instagram or TikTok or something, and it's like, hey, this like made me think of you, or just little things like that, where all of a sudden it's like the walls are down and they realized, oh, this person is actually way more approachable than I thought they were previously. And I think they really want to get to know you. They really want to figure you out. They really want to try to get closer to you. I feel like this person is just really curious about you, and also there is a very strong level of attraction here. And then what I see here with their intentions towards you, and I actually just realized I did not cover up the Lovers card. I usually cover that up because of the nudity. Hopefully YouTube doesn't take this down. But with their intentions towards you, what I see with the Tower card is, I don't know if you're currently in a relationship, or if you currently have a lot of people surrounding you, or if you currently are talking to somebody, but I literally imagine this person, like, imagine if, this is going to be a weird analogy, but imagine if your relationship with this random person that you might be talking to, or I don't know, an ex that might be hanging around. Imagine if that relationship is like the tower, right? You're standing in this tower. This person is like a wrecking ball. They are getting these people out of the way. They are pushing their way to the front of the line. They want to be close to you. And the Lovers card is about as self-explanatory as it gets. I think this person really wants to be in a relationship with you, and like, I feel like it's so unexpected for you because this person used to never approach you. Maybe you guys were always kind of in the same circles. You saw them often, but they never really talked to you much, or they didn't really introduce themselves, or they were always just kind of like off to the side with their other friends. And then all of a sudden they're honing in on you, and they're really like trying to get to know you, trying to talk to you. That's what I mean when I say like a switch within them has flipped, and now they are determined to try to be with you. And so with the Lovers card and the Tower card, I feel like it's super sudden. It might kind of blindside you, or maybe this person will ask you to hang out one-on-one, or they'll ask you to go out, and you're like, what? Like, we've literally never talked before, or like, you literally used to never talk to me. But I think they were just they really thought that they never had a chance with you, and now that they see that it's possible that they might have a chance, they are not going to waste any time. Like this person is swooping in like a lightning bolt. Like they really want to try to make this happen. And the creativity card here, this is very interesting. For some of you, it could be like literal creation, like they want to have a baby with you, which is weird because like I said, maybe you're just barely getting to know this person. But also when I see the creation card, it could be like creating a life together, creating memories together. Just the kind of energy when two people come together that they just build off each other, and like the sky's the limit. Like the relationship can go in any direction. I feel like they just want to see where things can go. They want to have memories with you. They want to have a good time with you. And I feel like I think you guys have insane chemistry is what I'm trying to get at here. And when that chemistry comes together, it's like you can do anything. And so their intentions with you are they want to be with you, they want to pursue you. And it could really come out of nowhere and blindside you, like the Tower card. The Tower card is about like sudden upheavals, sudden drastic changes. And then the Lovers card, self-explanatory. They want to be with you. They want to make things happen. And I feel like if this person hasn't reached out to you yet, or this person hasn't come forward, or they haven't pursued you, I feel like it's going to be happening relatively quickly. Like they're really going to come out of nowhere and blindside you, and they really want to pursue you. They're really interested in you. I feel like this is the kind of person that they've always watched you from afar and kind of like admired you from afar, but they were way too intimidated, or they thought that you had like other suitors or like situationships going on, and because of that they never really felt like you would be interested too. But something made them switch up, and all of a sudden they're determined to like go after you and to make something happen. So if you're interested in this person, then congratulations. If you're not, well, I don't know, maybe they got the wrong idea, but hopefully you're interested in this person as well. I truly wish you the best in this relationship. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought you some clarity, but that is everything that I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. All right, pile 2. If you chose the rose quartz, then this is the reading for you. And I just want to say off the bat, the person that is into you, this person that has a crush on you, there's a lot of details here. They're a very complicated, interesting person. But I do get the sense that this is somebody that you either were in a relationship with previously, or you've known for a long time. So I just want to say off the bat, if this doesn't sound like you, or it doesn't sound like your person, it could be that you just chose the wrong pile. You might want to go back and choose again, or it could just be that this video isn't meant for you. So if it doesn't resonate, just putting that out there. But I want to start off with everything about this person. I'm seeing a hummingbird right now. That's so cute. I felt the need to point that out in case that's a sign for anybody, because I rarely ever see hummingbirds right outside my window. But yeah, getting into what this person looks like and their personality. So for what they look like, you have the raccoon card. And I always think this card is so interesting because a lot of these cards have a lot of color, but when you look at the raccoon, it's shrouded in darkness. And so, first of all, when I look at the raccoon, it also makes me think about like heavy makeup. Regardless of gender, I feel like this person could be considered like emo. If they like to wear makeup, it could be that they wear like really heavy eye makeup, mascara. I get the sense that this person, they like to dress in all black. But when I also think about the raccoon, I think of somebody who, they have like a rough kind of energy to them. I don't know what this person's childhood was like, but if I had to guess, I'd say that they had to fend for themselves very often. Maybe they were like the eldest sibling and their parents weren't really there all the time, so they needed to learn to take care of themselves and their own siblings. Maybe this person got into a lot of fights when they were younger, so maybe they have like battle scars. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this person just has like a kind of like a very cool but kind of like rough outer exterior. But I think with the right people, and especially with you, they can be very caring and loving. But like if you were walking past this person at night and you didn't know them, you'd probably be really terrified of them. Like you'd probably cross the street. And like you wouldn't know that this person is actually like a big softie on the inside. You wouldn't know how much of this person's inner child just wants to be loved from like looking at them out on the outside, because on the outside they have this kind of like grizzled energy where I feel like if you put them in a lineup of people that like, I don't know, were in jail for instance, and you're like, okay, pick out the person that's actually not in jail. You'd have a hard time choosing because this person, maybe they're really tatted up. Maybe they, like I said, they just kind of have like this scary, gruff kind of demeanor, or they look like they could fight. They look like they could take anybody in a fight. Regardless of gender, regardless of like height and stature, like this person just has a really intimidating energy, and they have the vibe that like they have the street smarts and the, what's the word I'm looking for? They have the ability to back it up. Like it's not just an outer appearance. Like I think this person actually does know how to fight. Like this person actually, if it really came to that, like they would square up. They're not the kind of person to run away. I feel like they're really scrappy too. Like I said, I get the sense that they could wear all black. Maybe they have a lot of tattoos, piercings. Maybe they like to wear darker makeup, a very grunge aesthetic. Honestly, they sound really freaking cool and really hot too. I hope you don't mind me saying that. Like they sound cool as hell. I mean, like I don't hope you don't mind me saying that if you want to be with this person. Anyways, looking at the Black Egg card, this is all about their outer personality, which is interesting because for pile 1, the Black Egg came up as like their inner personality is like very shrouded in mystery. But for this person, even their outer personality is shrouded in mystery. Like I feel like they really don't reveal a lot of personal details to just anybody. Like they're not the kind of person to just suddenly tell you their life story. This is not the kind of person that's gonna reveal all their likes and their dislikes. Like I feel like, you know, in relationships, when you're getting to know somebody and you're in that talking stage and you get to know like their favorite color and like all the things that they're into, I feel like it takes a long time for them to even reveal small things like that. Like I feel like if you were getting to know this person, you wouldn't even really have like a basic talking stage like that. Like it would take a lot more of like getting comfortable with each other, really getting to know each other, having super cool fun experiences together, building memories together before they actually start revealing like things about their childhood or things about like their favorite interests and stuff like that. I feel like it's really hard to get to know this person. They have this outer shell or this outer wall. I feel like they could have like, I don't know if you've ever heard of like RBF, resting bitch face, where their resting face is like intimidating and scary, and so people don't really approach them. Maybe like if they're hanging out in friend groups where they don't really know everybody, they're kind of quiet and they have their arms crossed and they look more like a bouncer or a bodyguard than somebody that's there to have a good time, you know? And I feel like they had to build up that gruff outer facade so that, you know, they could protect themselves. I feel like they didn't have the easiest life growing up, and because of that, it kind of made them build up this hard outer shell. But when I look at their inner personality, this is characterized by the wolf, and I feel like beneath that gruff outside, there's actually a very loving inside. When you think about a wolf, like there's still that very protective, strong energy there. Like they're not all of a sudden turning into a softie, but I feel like they're also, when you really get to know this person, when you get to know them on a deeper level, and when you get very close to them, this person would do anything to protect you. They're very protective, and I think they can be very loving, but not necessarily in like a super touchy, cuddly, like ooh-woo, pooky kind of way, like more so in like they do anything to protect you. It's funny because like obviously a human wouldn't do this, but you know how cats show love by like giving you like a dead mouse? Like, what's their equivalent of bringing you a dead mouse? Like, they're not necessarily gonna cuddle you, but they'll be like, I found this cool shard of glass on the road and it reminded me of you. Like, I don't know, it's like funny, weird things, like, but that's like their equivalent of giving you like a bouquet of flowers. And I feel like they were never properly taught how to love, which is very sad. But at the same time, they still have a lot of love to give, but they want to give it to the right person. And I really get the sense that for them, you are that right person. And so even though their mannerisms or their way of showing love is different from the average person, or maybe not as soft and lovely, it does not take away from the fact that this person is extremely protective, extremely loving, but in their own sort of way, like in the way that a wolf shows love. A wolf shows love through protecting, through providing, in sometimes scary ways. But, you know, wolves are they're protectors. That's their inner personality. And wolves are also very soft and fluffy. So maybe in their own ways, this person is soft and fluffy, but like doesn't want to admit it. You know what I mean? Like a wolf is never going to be like, look at how soft and fluffy I am. They just are, but like they're not going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Now, moving on to how they feel about you right now. This one really stumped me up and I was staring at it for a while because I couldn't quite wrap my head around it, because you have two extremely positive cards. You know, the Chariot, which is all about going after what you want, pursuing you, wanting to be in your life, wanting to be your protector, wanting to be your provider. The Ten of Pentacles is like they find so much abundance in you. You complete them. You make them extremely happy. They can think of no other person that they'd rather be in a relationship with. But then you have the Rejection card, and smack dab in the middle of that. And so I was like, how does this work? And so what it makes me think is, I really get the sense that you could have possibly been with this person in the past, but then the two of you broke up. Or maybe you had a friendship where you guys were extremely close, but there was always like that kind of underlying romantic interest, but then something happened and then there was some sort of friendship breakup. There's some sort of rift between the two of you. And I don't know, maybe right now you're not talking, or maybe there's a big distance between the two of you. But even though there was that breakup or there's that distance, this person is still willing to pursue you. And in fact, I don't think that they have their eye on anybody else, because I truly get the sense that you are the only person for them. In their mind, you are it. Like, you're the one. And maybe that scares you because maybe you're not looking for commitment. Maybe you're not ready to settle down. Maybe you don't want to be restricted to just like one person. And so it kind of freaks you out because it's like this person is still like eyes straight ahead. They want you. And so for some of you, that might be really romantic. For others of you, you might be like, oh, that's a little bit much for me. Like, I'm out of here. But just what I'm seeing from them is you're the perfect person to them. Like, they really, really, really like you. And I don't know if wolves mate for life, but I just get this sense that, like, this is the kind of person that mates for life. Like, this is the kind of person that once they find their person, they don't need to keep shopping. They don't need to keep looking for others. Like, they know what they want and they want you. And even if you break up with them, they're like, okay, I'm still going to be here and I'll be waiting. You know, you have your fun, you talk to other people, you take all the time that you need. But at the end of the day, they know their worth, and they also know that they're worth it a lot. I don't know if this person has like a very high sense of themselves, but it seems like they know what they have to offer, and they look at every other competition as like a kitten versus a wolf. They're like, okay, yeah, you want to go play around with them for a little bit, you do that, but at the end of the day, I know that you're gonna want me. Like, I don't know if this person is super cocky or something, but they only want you. They only want to pursue you. Even though there's been this breakup, it's like that's not deterring them. They think you're perfect. Like, I know these are really like concrete statements, but I think that this is a concrete statement kind of person. Like, this person they're set on what they want, and even if you break up, even if you live on the opposite end of the country, they're gonna be like, okay, call me in 10 years when you're ready, which is crazy. And then so what they want with you, what they want out of a relationship with you, they feel like you get them better than anybody in the world does. And I know that that's a big statement, but there's something about the two of you that they just feel like there is this connection. It could even be like a spiritual, like soulmate, twin flame kind of connection. They feel like you two have something different than they've ever felt with anybody else. And it's hard for me to explain it unless you know exactly what I'm talking about. And maybe you do. Like, maybe you intuitively feel it and you're like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. But the reason I'm getting this vibe is because I'm looking at the High Priestess card here. And the High Priestess is all about intuition. And I feel like when she looks at you, she's looking directly into your soul. And this person, I feel like when the two of you lock eyes, you're looking directly at each other's souls. And I feel like you guys share a bond that is so deep within you. Like, it's a spiritual bond. Like, I truly get the sense that that's why they're so attached to you, and that's why they're willing to pursue you even after a breakup or even after you are seeing other people. And it's because they know that no matter what, these other people do not have the same kind of bond that the two of you have, which that could be toxic. I don't really know your situation. It sounds a little odd to me, but also, I mean, who am I to judge soul ties? I mean, if you know it, if you felt it, these things are hard to explain. And when I look at the Comfort card and the Nine of Cups, I feel like they are just so at peace and satisfied and content when they're in your presence and when the two of you are together, and they know that your guys' relationship could last. They know that they could feel that contentness with you because, I don't know, maybe you guys challenge each other to think different ways or to change, or maybe to have different perspectives, and you guys always keep each other on your toes, or maybe you guys are both spontaneous, or you both have the same kind of ideals about life and the world, and they feel like no matter how life changes or how life gets chaotic or how stagnant it becomes or how XYZ, like they know no matter what, that if you were by their side, they would be content and they would have all their wishes fulfilled. And with the Comfort card, what they want from you, they don't want money, they don't want to waste your time, they don't want to play games. All they want is to feel comfort and to give you comfort. I feel like this person just wants to be a protector and a provider, and they want you for you. They don't want you for status. They don't want you for how good you look on their arm. They don't want you for money. They don't want you for, I don't know, how good you guys look on Instagram together. They want you because they want you. They want you because things just feel right when the two of you are together. Like, that's it. They just want you. They want to be with you. It's not overcomplicated. They don't want you so that they can have 2.5 babies with you. They just want you because they want to be with you. They want you because they've never felt that kind of contentedness in a relationship that they have with you. And I feel like that's another reason why they're not really so scared by you talking to other people or being in relationships with other people or you leaving them behind, is because even if the two of you are separated, they feel this spiritual bond connecting the two of you. Like, truly, like, I don't usually label things as like twin flames or soulmates because I don't even really know if I believe in that stuff. I mean, I believe in soulmates, but I don't know so much about the twin flame stuff. And I don't throw those terms around easily. But in this case, like, I really feel it at my core. They think that the two of you really have this deep, deep connection and bond that transcends space and time. And that's why they're like, okay, you go have your fun, but at the end of the day, I know that you don't have what we have, but with them. You know what I'm saying? So, pile 2. That was very long-winded, but I hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope that this brought you some clarity on your relationship with this person. I truly wish you the best in this relationship, but yeah, that's all that I have. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. All right, pile 3. Last but certainly not least, if you chose the Crazy Lace Agate, then this is the reading for you. And I just want to start off by saying that I kind of feel bad for this person. Like, I feel like they really have low self-esteem. This person seems to really like you, and they really like you for you, and I feel like they have so many daydreams about, like, what if, but I don't think that they're ever gonna make a move, because I truly get the sense that they think that, like, you don't even notice them, or they think that they'd never have a shot with you, and, you know, I have no idea how you feel about this person, because this is just all about a person that has a crush on you, so maybe you really are not interested, but, we're gonna go ahead and get into the details. So, I want to start off with them, their personality, and what they physically look like. And the card that we got for what they physically look like is the Oyster card. And I feel like this also speaks a lot to their lack of self-esteem, because when you think about an oyster, how an oyster looks, oysters, I mean, they're not the most attractive animal on the outside. I mean, personally, I love to eat oysters, but I mean, I'm not going to lick the shell, which I guess that's a really weird way to say that, but if I had to describe how somebody looked when I look at this oyster card, which this makes me feel bad because I don't like to describe anybody as not being attractive, but I guess those are the words I would say, is they're not really conventionally attractive. I feel like maybe their features are not, they don't really fit the Western beauty standard. Like, maybe their nose is a little crooked, or maybe they have to wear super thick glasses. I'm just throwing things out there, by the way. They don't need to fit all these things, but I also get the sense that they might have, like, a lot of acne. I feel like they don't really fit conventional beauty standards, and maybe they're kind of insecure about, like, their weight, or I feel like this person, they feel like physically they don't really stand out. They don't have a lot to offer, which really makes me sad. But the thing about oysters is what's on the inside is, first of all, super delicious. Oysters are freaking expensive and they taste amazing, depending on who you are. I mean, I love oysters, but also pearls come from oysters, and those are some of the most sought after jewels in the world. I don't really know if they'd be classified as jewels, but I feel like this person has a beautiful, beautiful personality, but I feel like a lot of people just write them off because if they're not, I mean, that's just how it goes in life, is if you're not an attractive person on the outside, people judge you. Even, there was this thing I watched a long time ago. It was these two twin brothers. They basically looked identical, except one was over 6 feet tall and the other one was like 5'4". And they did this experiment where they asked people to look at both pictures and explain the personalities of each person. And so when they looked at the taller twin, they started using these words like powerful, CEO, well-read, athletic, confident. But then when they described the shorter twin, they described him as like, oh, he looks insecure, or he looks like he's lacking confidence, or he looks like his life is in shambles. And in reality, it's like, I think the short guy was actually really rich and like well-to-do versus the other guy, not as much so. But it really goes to show how much our physical looks impact how people perceive us. And I feel like this person has just dealt with a lot of being perceived badly because of the way that they look. And maybe you're not the kind of person to care about looks, but I get the sense that this person really, they're not conventionally attractive. I feel like they're really insecure about that. But they have so much to offer personality-wise. And I get the sense that you guys could be good friends, or like if you got to know them, you could be really good friends. Like I think this person is super funny and super interesting, and the reason I'm getting this is because looking at these two personality cards, you have what is their outer personality that they show to the world versus their inner personality. And something that's coming to mind is the word nerd. Like, I don't know why I think this person might be a little nerdy, but when I look at the snake card, I see somebody who's like closely guarding the things that they care about or the interests that they care about. I think that this person doesn't go advertising to the world that they're obsessed with like World of Warcraft or like super obsessed with Dungeons and Dragons, which shout out to Dungeons and Dragons. I'm probably going to play that on like Saturday. I love that. There's nothing wrong with being a nerd. I like a lot of nerdy things. Nothing wrong with it, in my opinion, so I hope I'm not giving off that vibe. But I get the sense when I look at this snake card that this person, they don't really show their interests to a lot of people on the outside, so a lot of people will just pass them by and know nothing about this person. Like, I feel like this is not the kind of person that gets invited to a ton of parties. This isn't the kind of person that is super into whatever's mainstream. Like, maybe they're into, like, fixing up antiques, so I don't really know, but it's like when you get to know them, you see like, oh my gosh, you actually have so many hobbies, you have so many things that you're interested in, you know all these cool facts about things, but it's like, you'd never know that from the outside, because this person really closely guards the things that they care about, because I feel like in the past, people have found out like, oh, you're into that thing, and then people like put them down about it, which is really sad. Yeah, man, this person, I kind of feel bad for them. But then when I look at their deeper personality, you have the lion card. And it's like when they're really comfortable around people, when they're with their best friends, or when they can just kind of like let down those walls, this person can be super confident in their intellect. They carry themselves with pride. Like, it's like when the pressures of like fitting in with society go away, you see the real them is actually super confident, super powerful, super intellectual. And it's only once they're quote unquote compared to other people that they kind of like shrink down and like close themselves off and are really insecure and have low self-esteem. But among their best friends, among their family, among people that they care about and can be themselves with, you see this like larger than life kind of person. So I feel like specifically with the lion card, they could have some Leo placements, maybe a Leo sun, but I feel like it could be other placements, like maybe their moon or their rising sign or other deeper placements than that. So yeah, that's all about their personality. But now moving on to how they actually feel about you. This is kind of tragic to me because you look at the Hanged Man and I get the sense that you guys could be friends. You guys could know each other pretty well. And this person, has kind of given up on the fact that, nothing is going to happen between the two of you. I truly think that they feel like they have no chance with you because either maybe you've said it before in passing, or maybe you've been like, oh yeah, I only like people that are like this height or like look this way. And so they kind of took that to heart, and they're like, well, I'm just never going to make a move. Like the Hanged Man card is about never making a move, being stuck in place. And then when I look at the Success card and the Queen of Pentacles, regardless of if you're male or female, you are being represented here as the Queen of Pentacles. And when I imagine the kind of energy that a Queen of Pentacles person gives off, it's just this sweet, caring, comforting energy where this person feels like they can let those walls down around you. They feel like they can reveal their true interests to you. They can tell you about all these cool things that they have on their mind, and they don't feel like they need to put up those walls and pretend to be somebody that they aren't. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like with the Success card, like they let themselves fantasize about, what could life be like if you liked them back, or what could life be like if you liked them the way that they like you. And I feel like it's just this pure kind of energy where sometimes they let themselves think about that, but then other times they really shut it down and they're like, well, it's never going to happen, so just got to move on. Like, I feel like this person, they really truly think that they have no chance with you, and so they're not going to do anything about it. Now, these 3 final cards are what they want to happen between you two. And all the cards are so bad that it's like they don't want anything to happen between the two of you. I think they don't want to ruin the friendship that they have with you because they feel like you could never really love them like that. You could never really be interested in them the way that they're interested in you. And I feel like they have such low confidence, such low self-esteem, they feel like they could provide you nothing. Like, even though you might see them as somebody that's like really funny and really interesting to talk to and somebody that you really care about, they feel like they have so little to offer to you that they are just not worthy. They're not worthy. Because you have this King of Pentacles reversed, and I can think of no card that speaks more to lack of confidence than this card. And with the Pain card, it's like they don't want to deal with even the pain of thinking about what might happen if you found out that they liked you. Because they're afraid that you would be like, ew, them, really? And like you'd run away, or you'd like call them names, or you'd be like, I'd never want to be with somebody like that. I would, this is kind of an aside, but I would say be careful about the way that you talk about other people around them, because you never know if you're judging something that they personally deal with. Or it's like if you judge not saying that you do this, I hope you don't do this, but it's like judging somebody for their weight, and then like they're standing next to you and thinking in their head like, man, I have that exact same body type. You might as well be judging me to my face. And so I feel like you need to be extra cognizant of the things that you say about other people. It's not saying that you judge other people, but I feel like this person really takes things to heart, and they're constantly listening to every little word and interpreting it and putting it in on themselves. And I feel like they can really beat themselves up about different things about themselves. They really, really have low self-esteem, and it just breaks my heart. And it's like they don't even want to think about you finding out that they might feel this way, because they feel like you would run away. Like literally, like you would never talk to them again. I feel like they feel like if you knew how they feel about you, they think that you would be so disgusted that they would lose any friendship that they have with you. And so with these 3 cards being the question of what do they want to happen between the two of you, they don't want anything to happen. As much as they love you, as much as they want to be with you, as much as they are into you and like love to fantasize about what life could be like if they were with you, they do not want this relationship to change. I think they value you so much as a friend and as a person, and they think that them being interested in somebody is such a heinous crime that it would cause you to run away screaming, which is so sad to me. It's like they don't even want you to know, because if you knew, they're afraid that they'd lose you just because of the fact that it's them liking you. And man, that makes me sad. So I really hope that this wasn't too much of a downer reading. I hope this brought you clarity. I know I wanted this to be like an exciting reading, but then instead it just ended up being like, man, let's all feel bad for this person. But I don't know. I hope that this reading brought you some clarity. If you're interested in this person, maybe you might want to tell them, because they seem to have it so backwards, thinking that the world would end if you found out that they liked you. But That's all I have. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.